Okay, moving forward, business from City Council, it would be Councilmember Buckland.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple weeks ago, I attended the SACOG. It was a Board of Directors meeting, but it was a workshop. It was a 2-day ordeal held down in Sacramento. All but, I believe, 2 of our directors from SACOG showed. We had many staff there. Went through our 2018 work plan, and part of that work plan was discussion of SB1 funding, but also what else can be done in our communities as we move forward, and we're looking at things like disruptive technologies and that sort of item with transportation. In that very same discussion, we look at how can we better manage our transportation systems to include our bus systems. So we will be looking in 2018 at different alternatives to move forward with maybe some cost-saving plans related to our transportation systems. Shortly after that, the Cascade Fire on Sunday night, early Monday morning, broke out, and absolutely disruptive to our community, but our community stepped forward. One of the things that, in losing one of our former residents here in Yuba City, he's moved up. He had a very large piece of property up there, but one of our attorneys here in town, Stan Coolidge, lost his life in that fire almost immediately. But also, it impacted 4 of our Yuba City families who lost homes in that fire. I'm very proud of this community. I'm proud of the community response, the citizens that responded almost immediately to helping neighbor get out of harm's way. The cause of the fires, still, there's speculation. There's all kinds of rumors out there. Don't look at social media. It's very apparent that the winds were the precipitating factor, and that fire just unleashed a hellish condition for everyone up there. But the citizens that stepped forward, and just the stories and the response that they were committed to within the first few minutes of the initiation of these fires in that area was unbelievable. To the response of our firemen, who mobilized and quickly started getting assets on scene, but then were quickly told by Cal OES and other sources, you have no other resources available. That's a tough one initially. They did manage to get some air attack on it, but the fire department, all the firemen that responded into that complex fire as it built, or the wind complex as it built and joined, just did an amazing job to save property, lives, and livestock. The response, again, from police, from the sheriff's department, just the look. A couple dash cam videos and from our area is unbelievable. The cell phone videos of the fire was unbelievable. All of the organizations that stepped forward, PG&E, all of the groups that supply product to PG&E, all were open 24 hours a day, starting to put together all the resources for them. The volunteers, the businesses that have stepped forward. I am so proud of this community and everything that this community has done to move forward, and the resilience of those that have lost their houses. It's something they'll never forget, but yet we still need to continue to move forward each day, and also support, I think, each and every one of those that supported those citizens, and certainly that community up in Loma Rica. That's all I have.
Thank you for those words of thanks and encouragement to the community. Okay, moving on to Councilmember Cardoza.
Alrighty. We'll start off with some meetings. I attended the Regional Housing Authority meeting, the Homeless Consortium meeting, Sutter Bluch Flood Control Agency meeting with Councilman Buckland and Mayor Cleveland. For chamber events, we had 3 ribbon cuttings the last couple of weeks. Yuba Sutter Latip, the Affleck's new district office here in Yuba City, and the East Center Head Start with the mayor also attending that with me, and an ambassadors meeting. For community and city events, I attended Yuba City. We had our 2017 Health Benefits Fair here at the water treatment plant here a few days ago. It was a fun event. Got to meet the whole gang and had some fun. Attended the Candlelight Vigil with council hosted by the mayor on the Las Vegas victims at the town center. The annual Race for Awareness Pink Ribbon Run. Had my local corner doing traffic control I've been doing for the last 6 years. And I wanted to put a shout out for our own Darren Gale's daughter, Sydney. She's 10 years old. She took first place overall female, and also her age bracket in the 5K race. She's 10 years old. It was the first young lady over the line. Attended the Yuba Sutter Library Centennial Celebration, 100 years. Library's been here in our community with Sean and Mayor also. Had interviews with the Yuba City High School government class once again. Attended the Celebration of Souls hosted by the Yuba Sutter Arts and the Fall Festival at Yuba City Mall. And then I want to kind of piggyback what John said. I've been lucky enough being retired that I've been down at the fairgrounds for the last 8 days helping out with assisting the American Red Cross at the shelter, Salvation Army, and the Yuba Sutter and Yuba County Health Services, and representing the council. The mayor made it by, helped serve some lunches, and then Sean was there as captain commander, so we were all there doing our help for the community. And last but not least, I just really want to, I want to thank our community for all the donations that they contributed to this. I mean, the community went up and beyond with food, water, clothes for all ages, bedding, towels, personal supplies. And I want to thank all the restaurants in our community. There's too many to name, because if I forget some, I don't want to feel left out. But all the restaurants that 3 meals a day, and the restaurants cooked meals for us. So everybody ate good. There was started off with a little over 300 people at the fairgrounds. And as of today, we're down to 20. And hopefully we're going to find a place for them in the next few days, a place for them to stay where they can get back together, because they have nothing right at the moment. Starbucks for all the coffee and the brick. And I just want to thank them all that, made life a whole lot easier and nicer there at the fairgrounds for all those folks. And many thoughts and prayers go out for all those affected by this devastating fires. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for the encouragement also. Councilmember Harris.
Yeah, it's meetings for my assigned boards and commissions were either not held or canceled in the last 2 weeks. But it's a good thing. I've been pretty busy and unique, primarily because of our fire situation. Starting about 12:30 Monday morning, we go up there, and I think someone in the paper recently says it's basically they're witnessing hell. And I tell you what, it's exactly what it was to our command post up there. At one point, I was on the phone with Sacramento, and I was watching 4 houses burn down at the same time while I'm talking on the phone. And to see and understand, or see people would want to get home and check on their property and their animals and their family, but we just can't let them in because of the potential of them being a victim as well. We're lucky we only lost as many people as we did. Everyone is a tragedy, but to have the unique perspective based on my role, at least the role I have for another 2 months, to not only hear about, but to look inside the vehicles where we have a human being laying there, and to see the look in people's eyes when they come up to a checkpoint and they understand that they just lost everything, is a very humanistic and very humbling experience. You feel lucky. I could 10 times echo what Councilman Cardozo and Buckland just said is the pride that you feel deep in your heart for our community. The list is on and on and on. You look in the paper, and that only touches the surface. It's amazing. It makes me even more proud to be a part of everything and all of you. We did our job. We controlled traffic. We did everything to do. We worked with the Sheriff's Department, who were phenomenal. CAL FIRE, PG&E was extremely impressive up there, doing the best they possibly can. Sometimes with things still burning, with flames still visible right next to where they're working, they're trying to do and move on. So it's very, very impressive. And so often we hear, you hear about it's going to help somewhere else. And it did happen somewhere else. That's why we had so spread thin resources down in the Bay Area and the wine country. But this time it happened here. Tragically, bad. Loma Rica won't look the same for a long time. So the help and the coming together as a community is not over when the flames are out. It's in many ways it's just beginning, and it's my intention and to be a part of that as much as I possibly can. So that being said, we talked about earlier with the chief with the focused enforcement specifically on DUI, and I am thankful to hear that that's moving forward. Like Councilman Buckland said, we've had 2 DUI deaths recently. I got to go out on that one about a little after 4 in the morning recently, and who's a friend of a friend. And again, you were right there, and it'll never stop getting to me, to where you look in the eyes of someone who 5 minutes ago or maybe 20 minutes ago was alive and well, going to work, going to wherever he was going, and because of some irresponsible person and the decisions they made, now he's dead. That really hits you right between the eyes, and hats off to you for doing everything you possibly can to try to curtail that. There is no reason anymore in this day and age for anybody to get behind the wheel of a car if you've been drinking. Enjoy, but hell, call me if you have to. I'll pick you up. I think we all would. So hats off to you and the efforts. It's very, very worthwhile. It's unfortunate because those are all not natural disaster. It's people making bad decisions for the wrong reasons, and it's just amazing how it still happens. But thank you for that. On a lighter note, my daughter got married. That was fun. So a lot of fun. She got exactly what she wanted. But and then I wanted to just kind of get a shout out today for Suk Sidhu, who came to me some months ago, wanted to do something. Of course, I jumped right on that and was willing to do whatever I could. I think my name was mentioned too much. I think today all I did was wind up the right people and turn them in the right direction, and we help them out. So Darren and our city manager Steve, and everyone else behind the scene. George, if he's here, right in front of me, George, and where is Brad? Brad's not here. But it's a lot of work it takes to do that and put things come to fruition. And it's one of those things you go out there, and it was only a win-win because everyone out here as a community, it's such a vibrant and a key part of our community, and I'm proud to be a part of that as well. And I think we are better because of that aspect of our community, extraordinarily so. So hats off to that, and good job. No pun intended, Darren. Keep your turban on. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'll stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Didball.
I don't think you have to worry about the hair underneath that turban either. Had to throw that out there. I was in the same situation as Sean as far as the meetings. Either they were canceled or there weren't any in the last 2 weeks. Aside from that, my heart and prayers continue to go out to everyone that's been affected with the fires. I woke up that morning and woke up to hearing about the fires first thing in the morning. I called, so behind the scenes, I called Red Cross, the executive Amanda Ree, and asked her about the evacuation center, where it's going to be, who can we contact, what can we do. So behind the scenes, I wasn't in town. I actually was in the Bay Area. So but I wanted to at least reach out and see what we can do. So I made some contacts behind the scenes to see what we can do with food and supplies that needed to be there. So I started making a bunch of phone calls as I was sitting in the hotel. But my heart and prayer goes out to everyone. I remember coming back from the Bay Area and just a small entity of what I was feeling just from the vents, the smoke through Fairfield and Vacaville area. And I couldn't even fathom how people were feeling in the midst of those fires. A dear friend of mine lost his in-laws, both of them. And so it's been devastating because you're trying to console people who are very close to you. So, and I know there's many out there who have lost family members. And my prayers are out with you. And we will continue to do what we can. Reach out to us, reach out to me. I will do whatever I can to assist. So, with that being said, I needed to get away, and my daughter had a game. So I actually did an overnight trip, and I think I drove more than I stayed in Oregon after that, just to take a breather, literally, from the smoke from here, but also just to see her with the devastation that was going on. It was kind of needed to embrace that for a little bit. So I actually drove more than I actually stayed there, watched a game and turned around and came back. So and now back in the midst of it. So please reach out if you need anything. We're here for you. And again, accolades to everyone. Our community, time after time, steps up. And I couldn't be more proud to be in this community. Just love it. And we do it together.
Yep.
That's what we do. So. That being said.
Thank you. Of course, busy week, busy last 10 days with all that's going on. But I will say that we had a good thing happen from the governor vetoing 649, the intrusion on taxpayers' broadband, where they could put any little company could come in and put whatever they wanted on poles and stuff like that. And we had limited ability to recover funding, or even we couldn't even say no. That did occur. It was the vigil was 649 crosses the line. It's Big Dave up out of Dunsmuir. Wow, what a character! He's fun. He's an instigator, I can tell you that. But anyway, we did the heavy lobbying for that, and they'll come back with something. We know the industry will, but we're going to hold them to the line and make sure that it is correctly put together, rather than what they had this time was horrible. Yes, I did volunteer as much as I could at the fairgrounds, helping out. I was able to serve food twice. They caught me from the backside on a couple of pictures and stuff like that, which is fine. Then also had friends that were actually there, sat with them, chatted with them. They have a animal recovery place that they have. They have a bunch of horses that they house. Some of them are very ancient in age, and they had to evacuate them and go all over the place with horses and animals of all kinds and dogs. And so visited with them, listened to the concerns of some of the people, their needs immediately, and then was able to coordinate with people and say, I have this, I have that, and able to just, in every day, try to get them directed where they would be best utilized. As far as in the Santa Rosa fire, that actually hits a little closer to home. My cousin and uncle actually lived there. They were evacuated. The house next door and the house across the street, all around them, burned down. Theirs did not. It's just like a miracle for that. I have been in contact with Santa Rosa Mayor Chris Corsi over the day today, trying to get direction of where to send items that are being presented. The people want to get it directly to the need there, and if the need is overwhelmed, they say, well, let us know what is needed. We'll go get that and bring that. And so they're not just taking whatever. All new. Everything that they're doing is brand new. From baby clothes, socks, shoes, of course, the hygiene items, blankets, everything is brand new that they're providing. A lot of hard work. I did go to the Civic Flood Control Agency meeting. Some very good updates. Our levee project is so close. Now we're going to go into operations and maintenance and get that put together and see how the state of California manipulates and forces us to operate on that. It's not usually very easy to work that out. I did go to the East Center Head Start ribbon cutting. That was very enjoyable. Got to visit with some people that I used to be on committees and boards with when I was at the county, and now they're part of that, and find out what's going on in the community on that area. Candlelight Vigil. There were about 120 to 130 people there instead of the 30 that the paper did say. Handed out in a total of 94 candles, so I know there were at least 94. And then there were others that had brought their own. Channel 40 was there. They did a little thing on their the nightly news, and it's still somewhere in their archives. We had some very close connections with our community there, Wheatland and locally, and then I found out somebody else, but I at the moment can't remember. Relatively close to here. 100-year celebration for the library, awesome. Just to see the history of our library and what it has done. And somebody came in and said 1944 was her first experience in the library. In a different location, but in the library. And boy, a spunky lady too. Friends of the library, which I have been in the member of the past. Fully supporting our library. They're looking for the future looks very good with what they're planning to do with new technology and books, having e-books and different things available there. One of the things is we need to, I think as a community, find out from the people that are still displaced, finding housing for them, talk with people about that, finding furniture and vehicles. Those are probably the primary things right now that they're going to be needing, furnishings of all kinds and things in homes for a while, because they're going to be displaced for quite a while. Some of them will be able to get by with large motorhomes and stuff like that, but not very many can handle that because that's the foothills and stuff. So we need to look at that. On the DOI, they don't allow me on juries because of if it's a DOI. I've had too many friends that were no longer here. Close friend, and then 3 generations of ladies on the 99 one time that they were very close friends before the 99 was improved. Had an update of the spillway, DWR, the spillway at Oroville, talking about keeping on their schedule. I did ask them the most difficult question, and they couldn't answer. And that was, are you guys going to be meeting the November 1st date? And they were very evasive on their response. But they do say they're on schedule, and I figured they already gave themselves some buffer zone, and they can allow themselves to go longer because they're the ones that make those decisions anyway, or part of it. But it will be ready for the minimum amount of, or the maximum amount of 100,000 CFS. It will be ready for when the water gets up higher. One reason is they're going to be keeping the water much lower, not going to allow it to get very high, just in case there is a very large event. That just came out today, and I was reading it this afternoon or something on a spillway press release. I didn't get to finish it up because I had such a busy day on reading that. Let's see. Was it the food bank for Empty Bowls fundraiser? Their first annual there. Went and got a bowl, and they had 6 different soups there to try and some breads as a fundraiser. And oh, those soups were good. They were awesome. Yeah, Darren, you should have gone because those soups were great. He's a soup lover. Other than that, I would like to close in memory of a previous mayor who has passed. He served from April 68 through April of 1969. Richard Young passed away, and we'd like to close in his memory. It's also, I think, the father of Christy Easterbrook. So there is nothing else. Meeting adjourned.